Hello, welcome to Empowering Self and Soul Esteem Sessions. Happy Friday. I hope you're having a great week. Almost the weekend again. So today, I want to speak about forgiveness and all the layers that we get to move through on that journey to being forgiving of ourselves and others. So this life, everything is it's a power negotiation all the time. In every moment we have a choice how we react. Do we give our power away? Are we aware of what we're putting into a relationship, the energy that we're bringing to our day? Manifesting, all of that we read about in the spiritual world now. It's all about aligning and getting what we want getting. But we have to take responsibility for what we are putting out there. What we put out, we get back. Laws of the universe. So it's all about aligning with the truth of who we are. I want to talk about 2 or 3 steps to get there to forgiveness, to being forgiving. So I learned about this one probably 3 times in different relationships, through healing, through forgiving others. I think it's a process that we have to keep forgiving ourselves. It's actually, I believe, in order to move on, in order to release a current situation that might be difficult, we have to release the beliefs, the person that we've become with that weight, that heaviness, that upset about somebody else, in order for us actually to align with the next stage of our life, be it a year, be it a week, be it 5 years, 10 years. We have to release the paradigms, the old beliefs. And that cannot happen until we make that conscious decision to allow that to pass, allow that moment of our life, allow the words that we've spoken. We have to allow them to go and to realign, and then we can move forward. If we keep carrying the resentment or shame about something we've said or done, or a belief that we have about someone, or the upset around hurting someone, whatever it is, if we keep pulling that forward with us into the next moment, it's just gonna keep us heavier and heavier and heavier. We have to be able to release that and let it go and forgive ourselves for being part of that. So what does this mean? One of the biggest things I learned about forgiveness was about taking responsibility for my part, which might seem really impossible for anyone to understand for a child who may have been abused, especially children. However, becoming an adult, when we start to realize that we do have choice, even though we're healing, and yes, over time, a lot of our behavior, the way we struggle with things, is because we've been traumatized at a level within the body, or we're carrying ancestral trauma within the body. It's literally within the fiber of our being, whether we realize it or not. It's very, very, very hard to release that. However, the moment that the consciousness starts to come in, that, okay, this is something that is true for me. So we tell the truth about it. We literally realize that this is something that's within. This is something that we're carrying. This is something that is affecting us every day. And it shows up through emotion. It's all that third chakra part of the body, coming into our own, taking responsibility for ourselves, learning to mature, to be our own person. All of these activities going on here with the energy center of the body. It's just before the turning point where we reach the heart and we open to allow new energy in and to lift our spirit. It's all bubbling around here, down here in the second, third chakra, that we've carried this. We're carrying this in the fiber of our being. And most of us are traumatized in some way. So when we realize that this is a universal truth, and we start to take responsibility, so therefore have the ability to respond, to have responsibility. So I get to respond to this, what I'm feeling. Once that consciousness becomes apparent that, yes, okay, I realize something is going on inside of me. And then our work is to realize to really figure out, how can I overcome this? How can I move forward? And that forward movement, that release, that being able to forgive someone else, to forgive myself, is deeply empowering. But it's a choice at that point. And the only way we're going to do that is to really take responsibility for our part. Because everybody in our lives, everything is for us. We were contracted to come here to learn these lessons, to empower ourselves, to move through these struggles, so that we can then empower others to do the same. It's a process. It's a deep process. Forgiveness is not something that we can talk around in circles about. I don't even know if it's something we can talk about in therapy. I don't think it's something that we can try to reason with and figure out. I spent 30 years trying to figure things out. It's actually letting go of trying to do that. That's what's preventing the flow, the release, the next stage of life to happen. It's like when there's an emotion going on and we're struggling and we're pushing, we're trying to keep control of things. And we know that, like, the more we push, the more we put the universe pushes back. The more we try, the harder it is, because we're not releasing, we're pushing, because we feel separated from the whole. We can't trust. We can't just, we have to try and control it. But the magic, the power is in realizing that we can't control it. It is in the release. It is in the letting go. And allowing the flow, allowing the healing to come in. We don't have to have all the answers. So we don't have to try and prove anything to anyone. We just get to align and release and be in the flow. The word karma, so going back to the laws of the universe and that push-pull, the word karma is Sanskrit. It's a Sanskrit word for action. So from the moment we're born, like energy, like, the egg is fertilizing, Here we go. Action is being created. A new life is being born. Every moment, right now, is the only moment. And from this moment, the next moment is happening. Action will always happen. So, responsibility, how I get to create the next moment. The next moment is the flow of the universe. It's going to keep coming, but how am I showing up in this moment right now in order to create the next moment? In order to create the next moment, what do I bring to the table? I get to be responsible for how I am being in this moment. What's the energy I'm bringing? What's the intention I'm bringing to this moment now? Never mind what happened yesterday. Never mind what happened 30 years ago. It is insane to carry that forward. We can take responsibility right now and choose again and create whatever we want in the next moment. That's how powerful we are. So, the steps toward forgiveness. It is about showing up, being responsible, being able to respond to what is happening in my life right now. And what do I choose to do, to respond, to speak, to do? How do I choose to show up? I take responsibility and I choose to show up in my truth. So I get to tell the truth, which is empowering. Back to the beginning. Every moment, this is all a power negotiation. So am I showing up being empowering for me? Am I empowering me? Am I empowering the people around me? Or am I disempowering them by projecting the past of my shit, their shit, whatever it is? Who cares? It's in the past. Are we projecting that into this present moment? So showing up responsibly, being able to respond, being in a place of truth, of empowering myself, empowering others, because that truth alignment, it's called being in the flow. It's called being in the flow with the universe. You know, it's about living with a level of conscience and consciousness. So this is our practice, and every moment we're gonna screw it up. In our relationships, we do it every day, don't we? This is our work, to be in our truth, to be conscious, to work on empowering, not disempowering. This is our work. And yes, we're going to fuck it up. Excuse my language. So what do we get to do? We get to forgive. We get to forgive what we said yesterday, who we were an hour ago. And we recommit. We surrender, we let go, we forgive, and we recommit. We keep getting back up getting back up and getting back into life. That's what we get to do constantly. And this is our work. You know, be for giving of ourselves, giving of others, having compassion for ourselves, forgive, compassion, and stop beating ourselves up. It's a choice. It's always a choice. And at any moment, we can realign and let go of, you know, get it out. If we have to get it out and have a little fit, do it. But then we get to realign, take responsibility, be responsible for our words, our actions, our energy, how we show up, and recommit. Empower ourselves. Come from a place of consciousness and conscience. Have a conscience. tell the truth, and then we will be in alignment. That's true health. That is true health. Being conscious about what we put in our mouth, being conscious about what we say, being conscious about how we show up in our friendships and our family and our relationships and our workplace. Like, really, wouldn't it be awesome if we were all behaving like that? Well, it starts with us. So let's start getting more conscious and thinking about our conscience telling the truth, because all of those illusions, which is all that they are, if they've passed, if they're yesterday, an hour ago, it's gone. There is nothing we can do about it other than recommit, forgive ourselves, be forgiving, and start all over again. You know, this book, again, it's a Tosha Silver prayer. It's about bringing us into the present moment. And if you're struggling, if you have this real kind of saboteur, one of the archetypes we all carry, if your saboteur is really strong, please begin reciting something like this to yourself. Get it in your ears constantly until it starts becoming part of your being, so that you can release yourself. Allow yourself to liberate. Allow yourself to be free of the illusion, the nonsense, the really just such destruction that you are carrying around with you every day. It is a choice to carry that around with you. Let it go. Just let it go. This is really powerful. I'm going to read it to you. It's very short, but it's all about forgiveness. And this is, if you're struggling with this is awesome to read, because forgiveness is not something, like I said, you're not going to go to a therapist and talk round and round and round and round and round in circles about this. It's about being, it's about owning this virtue. This is so empowering. And once you get it the first time, once you truly, deeply realize this, it really goes in. And it's just a practice then to just breathe and keep taking it back in, just keep bringing it back around, because it's it will empower you no end. It's all about taking responsibility for who we are. Responsibility is huge. Telling the truth, and my goodness, being forgiving of yourself, it's everything. Change me, divine beloved, into one who knows without question that you are the unlimited source of all. May I forgive anyone who has hurt me, knowing that you provide all my needs in the most surprising and abundant ways. May I release remaining blame or anger towards others. May I be freed from the noose of resentment, jealousy, and victimization. May I forgive any perceived injustice, trusting that whatever needs to happen will ultimately happen in the right time and way. All of my needs are always abundantly met. There is enough for everyone, and may destiny use me in the highest way for the good of all. Because being forgiving of others is also being forgiving of ourselves. We are one. We truly, truly are. So please take responsibility. Forget about yesterday. Forget about earlier today. Forget about an hour ago. If you weren't great in something that you said, or in some way that you sabotaged yourself, a relationship, whatever it is, forgive yourself. Be forgiving. Give in this moment yourself the opportunity to start again, to trust again, to see yourself and anyone else in a new light, because every moment is a choice. It's a tough one, but it's so empowering. I hope this has been helpful. Have an amazing weekend, and I'll see you next week. Bye for now.